Hey guys, it's Channon Rose, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a story time. This story time is actually pretty crazy. So this happened recently. So we had gone into this campsite, and it is a campsite where you don't have any hookups. So it's called dry camping. And I guess you can have your motorhome there, but you can also like have tents, and people just like take their cars and set up tents and stuff. So as we were driving into this motorhome, they have this thing, it's like first come, first serve. So what we did was we got there and we're like, oh, let's drive around and see like which campsite is a good campsite, and then we'll go from there. So as we're driving around the campsite, we're driving and we notice that there are this huge group of campers, and one of their cars is like totally blocking the road for people to like drive through. So we had to drive through that road to be able to like look at the rest of the campsite. So, you know, we come up in our big old motorhome, and there's like this truck, and it's blocking the motorhome from being able to drive through. And there's a bunch of campers, like, you know, like, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 12 of them in this campsite, and they all turn around and look at us, you know, in the motorhome that are trying to like drive through, and they see that their car is blocking the road. And so they just stop and they turn around and they look at us, and we're like, you know, hi, you know, like from in the motorhome, like, hi, you know, we're just like trying to drive through or whatever. And we're waiting for one of them to like, you know, be like, oh yeah, hold on, like we're gonna get whoever's car it is and move it out of the way so that you guys can drive through. Well, no, they didn't do that. They literally just stared at us the whole time. So they're just looking at us like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, move along. And we're like, dude, like we can't go anywhere. And we're like literally waiting there for like a good 3 minutes at this point. Nobody has done anything. No one said anything. They're all just literally standing there staring at us like we're doing something wrong. It was so awkward and weird. And then eventually we started to get upset because we're like, what the hell, dude? For one, like it's extremely difficult. We have a 36-foot motorhome, and the way that this campsite like was situated is it's very hard for us to like maneuver. For some reason, like the person didn't have their keys or they couldn't find them, whatever, like that's understandable. And then we'd be able to like back out our motorhome, which would be extremely difficult to do. Oh, hold on, shoot, someone's at our door. Anyway, it would be extremely difficult to do. So these people are literally waiting there. They don't come up to us. They don't say anything. They're all just staring at us. And then eventually they just start going on with like whatever they're doing. But like they keep just like looking at us like we're doing something wrong. And we're like, what the hell? I'm like, do I get out and tell them they need to move their car? Like what should I do? And Travis is like, it got really weird. And look, first it was awkward, right? Then it got really weird because we're like, I know that there's no other people around. This has to be their car. It's not like some random person's car that they don't know. And they see us just sitting there like waiting to cross the road, and they're not doing anything. And so Travis starts to get like annoyed, you know, and he's like pissed off with them now. And I'm kind of getting annoyed because like, you know, I've got kids screaming and like we're just trying to like get settled. And so we literally ended up having to back the motorhome up in this campground, which was really hard to do because they didn't want to move their car for us to get by, even though they're blocking the whole road. The campsite wasn't very busy, so there wasn't other people. It wasn't like a bunch of people trying to get through, you know, it was just us. And I don't know, like if they didn't like us, I mean, like they didn't even know who we were, but like clearly they did not want to move their car. Like it was just very awkward, weird, and then just plain rude, you know, is like what it went through, those 3 different emotions. So Travis is like, fuck this, like I'm not waiting any longer. So we ended up backing out, and then we ended up having to get a campsite that was like a couple of campsites down from them because, hey, what's up?
He's here. I got Storm, I got her.
Why don't you bring Storm in here and I can hold him, and
you
then
don't wanna, like, go
I'm almost done with this. So let me just finish this up and then I can go. But why don't you bring Storm up here for me? I don't know if you guys watch my Q&A, but this is one of the things that I'm like, you know, I try to film and like somehow Travis finds ways to like, maybe he doesn't find ways, but like it's very difficult for him to watch the kids and like let me work on my own for a short period of time. Hold on one sec. Okay, so we get really annoyed with these people and we're like, wow, these people are fucking rude, you know? And we ended up finding a campsite because it wasn't like, the campsite wasn't totally full. So there was still a lot of open campsites. We noticed there was nobody camping next to either one of, like there was their campsite and then there was nobody like to either side of them. I don't think that was an accident. And then we ended up camping a few campsites down from them. So we didn't see them, but there was also like this river, like this stream that is like open to the public. Like everybody can go down there, but there's only little trails that go to like certain areas because it was kind of like the forest. And once we like got settled and everything, we ended up going down as a family to like one of the streams, and we noticed that these were some of the same campers that were down by this stream. And again, when we went down there, they were staring at us like, what are you doing here? Almost as if it was like their property and they didn't want us on it, you know? It was very odd. So it was just like an uncomfortable feeling, like being around them. I didn't realize that they were the same people because there was like a group of them. I wasn't really paying attention to what they look like. So I didn't realize at this point that they were the same people. But again, I told Travis, I'm like, man, the people here are kind of assholes, you know? This was in California, so that kind of goes to show. People in California are not very nice, especially like Southern California. So we're down there, and whenever we like see people, we're like, hi, how are you? And normally they're like, oh, we're good, how are you? We said hi, they totally ignored us. So I was like, okay. And then, you know, Snow was like playing and singing and like in the river and was being adorable, and they were like acting like she was, I don't know, like ruining their ambiance or something. Like most people would be like, oh my gosh, like they're so, even if you don't like kids, they're like, she's adorable. Like, are you kidding? Maybe I'm biased, but she was being really sweet, and she was going over there and she's like, hi. And like they would ignore a 2-year-old, you know, like, I don't know. It's just, they were very, very weird and just rude. And so I was just like, okay, so weird. I don't know, this campsite. And then I thought it was just like people at the campsite, but it ended up being the same campers. And as we were walking around the campsite or whatever, we noticed they just kept staring at us. And I was like, why do these people keep staring at us? Like, are we doing something wrong? Like, are we breaking a rule? Like, what's going on? You know, like, why do they keep staring at us? And I couldn't figure it out. And Travis was just like, I don't know, they're weird. Just ignore them. I'm like, okay. So we're walking, and coming out, like, it's where their campsite is. And so on the opposite, it's hard to explain. So when you go down to the stream or the river, it's like you go down this one way and you don't even see their campsite. And then coming back, we went back another way. And the way that we came up is kind of like right by their campsite. So that's when I realized like, oh, these are the fucking rude ass campers that like wouldn't move their car for us and like blocking the whole road. So I don't know. They just made it seem like they did not want us anywhere near their campsite. And so we were just like, okay, whatever. So then Snow is like, she had her little bucket and she was like picking up things like with her bucket, like her shovel, and putting it in her bucket. And she stopped. This was probably like 20 feet away from their campsite, like wasn't even in their campsite, just like, you know, passing through it, not through it, on the side of it. And she stopped and she's like wanting to play. And so like, I didn't want to be like, Snow, like, come on, like, I don't want to be near these campers. They're fucking weird. So I just let her do it. And they are again staring at us. One of them lets their dog off of their leash, and the dog starts barking and like bolting for us, like he's gonna attack us. And I'm looking at the owner of the dog, who I literally watched her unleash the dog, and the dog wasn't barking or anything while we were like standing there. And then all of a sudden, like, she unleashes the dog and the dog starts barking and coming straight for Snow. And that's when I like lost it. And I was like, dude, I'm about to fuck somebody up if they are letting their dog come attack my 2-year-old daughter, you know? Like, I've already had enough with you people, you know? So the dog comes straight for her. I grab Snow. I see the owner. She doesn't yell for the dog. She doesn't come running after the dog. She slowly, nonchalantly is like walking. And as the dog starts to get close, I like throw my fist up like I'm about to punch the fucking dog because I don't want him attacking my daughter. And I don't know what else to do. You know, we don't have like mace or anything else. Like, I didn't know what to do. It was like, it happened so fast, you know? That was just like my natural instinct, is like attack whoever's attacking my kid, you know? And Snow starts crying and she's all scared. And the dog literally got this close to us. And the owner's like, it's okay, he's friendly. Just like that, we were in their territory. And like, you're supposed to have dogs on leashes, by the way, when you're there. I don't know what was going on. It was very fucking weird, you guys. Like, I still till this day don't know what was going on with this group, or like who they were, or what their purpose was out there, because they were not just like camping, they were being very territorial of like their area. And like, I don't know, it was very, very odd. Very eerie vibes from that whole situation. And the fact that like they were making us feel like we were not wanted anywhere near them, not even letting us cross the road next to their campsite. Then we're coming by their campsite, not even through it, and they're letting their dog like off a leash to try to scare us away and like try to attack our toddler. I honestly didn't even know what to say at that point. I just like picked Snow up and she was crying, and so we just ended up like walking back to our campsite because I was like so freaked out at that point. And oh guys, like, they were so fucking weird. And then get this, I started filming a video like while we were there, and so I had my camera, and having a camera, I guess, like really made them even creepier than they already were. They started like coming and spying on us. And I noticed, because after that happened, I looked at every single one of their faces and I was like, I'm remembering all of you, you fucking weirdos, you know? Like, I don't know, it just like really creeped me out. I don't know if they were like some sort of a cult or I don't know. I had all kinds of crazy theories going on after this. I was like, is this like somebody that's like, cause this was like when the whole like Brian Laundrie thing was going on. I was like, is Brian Laundrie there? And they're like trying to like hide him and they don't want anyone like coming near there. That was one of like my crazy theories. I highly doubt that's the case, but I was just thinking like all the different things that I could think of. Are they like some sort of, I don't know, weird cult group? Are they doing some shady shit they don't want people seeing or around them? I don't know. It was so weird, you guys. I still till this day don't know what the fuck was going on and why they were so weird and creepy and eerie. But then they started spying on us, and that's when I was like, we're out of here. This is fucking weird. These people are really weirding me out and creeping me out. And they would like come and they would like stop and literally look in our motorhome. Like broad daylight, didn't care. It's almost as if they were like trying to scare us away from the area. Like they didn't want us there and they were like, you know, plotting to like hurt us, do something to us. It was very scary. I was like, Travis, like, what do we do? Like, should we leave? I don't like this. And he was just like, well, we're already here. Like we've already paid for the campsite. Let's just stay another night. There's other campers around. So it's not like it's just us and these creepy campers over here. The creepy camp cult, you know, like he's like, so I think we'll be okay for the night, you know? And this was actually the night that, I don't know if you guys watched the YouTube video of Travis and I, we were doing a Q&A, and it was the Q&A, like Q&A, are we vaccinated? And this was the nighttime. I was like, it sounded like somebody was trying to open our window, like late at night when we were filming this video. And I was like, well, you go outside and look and see if there's someone out there. And we looked and there was nobody there. 95% sure it was like somebody from this crazy, creepy campsite that was like trying to like screw with us. I was this close to calling the cops, but like, what do you say? They're creeping me out and they're stopping and looking inside our motorhome and like intimidating us. They didn't harm us in any way. They didn't say anything to us. So like there was nothing really we could have done. You know what I mean? Like it was a weird situation. So anyway, the whole thing with the dog, if the dog would have like tried to bite her, I think I would have definitely called the police. But because the dog just like scared us and then stopped when he was like right here, I don't know. It was weird. It was almost like the dog was being controlled by the owner because the dog wasn't even barking at us when we were walking by. You know, normally a dog will start barking at you and then run towards you and like want to like attack you or hurt you. But like we didn't have another animal with us. He was totally fine. Then all of a sudden, like when she saw that we were like coming around like close to the campsite, they let the dog off the leash on purpose. Like who does that? I don't know. Guys, like I still am like so confused by the whole situation, but it was very creepy. And when they started looking at our motorhome and like stalking us and just like intimidating us, I was like, yeah, we're fucking leaving tomorrow. So we ended up leaving, and then that was that. That's how that ended. Very weird situation. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's story time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah.